Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a good day. And above all else, that you're looking after yourselves and one another. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new album review to do for you. It is the latest release from The Cure called Songs of a Lost World. This was released on November 1st, 2024 through Capitol, Polydor, and Fiction Records. It was produced by Robert Smith and Paul Corquette, recorded between 2019 and 2022. This is the first album from The Cure in 16 years. This is a follow-up to their 2008 release, 413 Dream. All the songs were written, arranged, and produced by Robert Smith, which, according to the notes I read, this is only the second time it's happened. The first time was for the Head on the Door from 1985. Now, for the cover, as you saw, the sculpture is called Bagatella, and it's a 1975 sculpture by Slovenian artist Janez Pamat. And there have been two singles released from the album thus far, Alone and A Fragile Thing, which were released uh, earlier in October. Now, performing in the band, you have the Cure mainstay Robert Smith on vocals, guitars, six-string bass, and keyboards, and production, engineering, mixing, and sleeve concept. You have Simon Gallup on bass, Jason Cooper on drums and percussion, Roger O'Donnell on keyboards, and Reeves Gabrels on guitar. Now, if the name Reeves Gabrels sounds familiar to you, he's most noted for working with David Bowie in his live band in the 1990s as a musical director for him for his tours and also as part of the side project Tin Machine that Bowie had going on in 1990. Now, I've listened to this album a couple of times and it's good. It is very good. I will say you do need to be in a certain mood to listen to it. It's a very stark album, very melancholy. Um, from what I read earlier on, prior to, I was reading up on this album because I knew it was going to be coming out. Um, I do remember reading that Robert Smith had around 30 songs completed for this album. Um, but he had whittled it down to 10 songs. Well, now we have 8 songs. The album clocks in at 49 minutes and 13 seconds. Um, Obviously listed under goth rock, and it does fit that genre label. Um, the album starts off, before I get into the tracks, the songs in terms of playing time, they range from 4 minutes and 17 seconds to 10 minutes and 23 seconds. So you have shorter songs and you have more lengthier compositions. Um, all of the songs do have extended instrumental intros, and they've already been blasted for that in a German magazine. I don't see the issue with it. For me, when I listen to this album, obviously they want to release singles, but they weren't going for the immediate hit. All right. And um, these songs are written in the first person. Okay. It's a very introspective album. Okay. It's an album where an individual, whatever the character is basically taking stock of his life and or her life and, and looking around and feeling a lot of isolation and fear and dread as to the state of their life and the state of people around them. And basically, could they do better with their life? And, have they done everything that they wanted to do with their life? Sorry. But I'll get into the tracks. The album starts off with the lead-off single, Alone. And in my notes, I have here atmospheric synths and what I believe to sound like Mellotron. To me, when I listened to this album, I kept thinking this is good Mellotron, but in fact, it's it's synthesizer, but there's a lot of symphonic elements in the arrangements with the synthesizers, and the synths are used as musical drapery in the background, right? For the tracks. Also in Alone, I have here extended instrumental intro, and it's very stark. Okay. Gray is a prominent color on this album in terms of textures and colors and styles. Even on the album covers, you saw. Um, the next track is And Nothing Is Forever. Um, Beautiful piano, pastoral synths, nice melody, and beautiful string arrangement on this track. The next track number 3, is the second single, A Fragile Thing. Nice guitar tone. What I like about Reeves Gabrel's guitar tone is he has a very thick guitar tone at times, but also he's not afraid to sort of step back and just, don't take this the wrong way, but I guess be a part of the scenery. He doesn't feel the need to have to step out and take a solo. And the fact that Robert Smith is in charge of everything, I don't think he'd let him take a solo if he really wanted to. So, but no, it's fantastic. His work on this album, Reeves Gabrel's work on this album is simply fantastic. After A Fragile Thing, we have track 4, War Song. In my notes, I have a textured wall of guitars, almost using feedback as an instrument, you know, pretty much like Jimi Hendrix used to do. The vocals have a yearning quality to them. And again, continuing the theme of isolation, right? And all of these songs are done in the first person narrative, right? After War Song, um, we have Drone, No Drone. To me, I have here very rhythmic, heavy guitar, nice use of guitar distortion on this track. That track clocks in at like 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Uh, Next up, track number 6, I Can Never Say Goodbye. Starts off with some great storm effects, as you can tell where the song is going. Nice use of piano on this track. Again, use of symphonic synths. Um, and really good thick guitar tone from Reeves Gabrel. Track number 7 is a song called All I Ever Am. Up-tempo drum pattern. Um, Good guitar and bass textures on this track, sorry. And again, they are used as a backdrop, you know. And I gotta say too, the snare drum, the drumming on here is fantastic. But on some songs, one or two of them, uh, the um, the drums are almost used sparingly, like especially the snare drum, right? That comes in. Fantastic work on the drums, like there's no doubt about it. The last song on the album is the longest track, 10 minutes and 23 seconds, called End Song. And in my notes, I have here percussive rhythm that goes out throughout the entire track. Um, Beautiful synth textures. There's a lot of melody and counter melody on the guitar on this. The vocals don't come in until 6 minutes and 23 seconds on the track. And there's a great guitar solo from Reeves Gabrels on this track. Now, in terms of the bass work on this album, when I hear uh, the bass on this album, I'm reminded of Peter Hook from New Order, right? If you guys remember, Peter Hook when he was in the band, he had a definite style in his playing, and it's to me it's very reminiscent of the playing on the album with bass and even some of the guitar tones. It's very reminiscent of what Peter Hook would do with New Order. Now, in terms of comparing this album musically to um, another artist, the only other artist that would comes to mind when I listen to Songs of a Lost World is David Bowie around the at the beginning of the Berlin trilogy for Low and some of Heroes. Okay, more Low than Heroes, because Low had a more sparse kind of production sound and style, and some of that is uh, prominent on this album. This album is very layered. It is very textured in some spots, but some songs also have a bit of a sparse feel to them in terms of the arrangements, and I like that. Now, I do think that this is a fantastic album. I really do. It is a dark album. It is a very melancholy album. Uh, it's, it's Robert Smith being Robert Smith. This is what The Cure is known for. And there's word that there won't be a tour for this album until 2025 after the band have completed their next album. So they are going into the studio to record a follow-up album to this. So, if you've got 30 songs ready to go, I would imagine he would go back into his grab bag and pick out some more tracks that would fall in the same vein, fall into the same vein, sorry, as tracks for Songs of a Lost World, right? So there you have it, guys. The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. Um, you know what? Stream it on YouTube before you buy it. I think it's a fantastic album. I think it's a strong album. Um, it kind of reminds me of Disintegration from 1989. But you know what? Listen to the album, stream it on YouTube. You can get it on Amazon, on Discogs, on eBay. On Amazon, it's going for something like 30.99. Okay. So please get your copy and let me know what you think of Songs of a Lost Word down there in the comments below. And yeah, I've got more shows coming up. I'm going to be doing more shows with Bill Schuster, uh, Ken Cheshire, and Jim Bricker. We're going to be doing an album ranking on Steven Wilson. We're also going to be doing an episode called Building a Better Abacab. So we're going to try and restructure Genesis Abacab and give you what we feel uh, could possibly be a better version of Abacab. So that's coming up. So, guys, please look after yourselves and one another. Please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. I want to thank all you guys for supporting me while I'm doing this channel. It's not easy, but you know what? I enjoy doing it, and I hope I'm bringing content that you guys enjoy. You know, I hope you guys had a safe Halloween and didn't get too much candy or didn't get into too much trouble. So that's it for now. I will see you soon with more videos. Okay? Bye for now.